Picture this. It's the 11th century. Europe is a patchwork of kingdoms. Knights are the elite warriors, and faith is the center of everything. But far away, in the Holy Land, a crisis is brewing. The Byzantine Emperor, Alexios I, sends a desperate plea to the west. The Seljuk Turks, a powerful force, are threatening his empire and, crucially, access for Christian pilgrims to Jerusalem. This plea lands on the desk of Pope Urban II. In 1095, at the Council of Clermont in France, he delivers one of the most influential speeches in history. He calls upon the knights and nobles of Christendom to stop fighting each other and unite for a greater cause. To march east, reclaim the Holy Land, and defend their fellow Christians. He promises remission of sins for those who take up the cross. The response is electric. Cries of Deus Vult, God wills it, echo through the crowd. The First Crusade is born, but it wasn't just knights who answered the call. An unofficial wave, known as the People's Crusade, set off first, led by charismatic figures like Peter the Hermit. Thousands of peasants, commoners, and minor nobles, filled with religious zeal but lacking military discipline and supplies, began the long, perilous journey east. Their trek was marked by chaos and tragedy, and most never even reached the Holy Land, being defeated shortly after crossing into Anatolia. Meanwhile, the main force of professional soldiers, the Prince's Crusade, was These were the great lords of Europe: Godfrey of Bouillon, Raymond of Toulouse, Bohemond of Taranto. Their armies were better equipped, better trained, and far more organized. They journeyed overland and by sea, converging on the Byzantine capital, Constantinople. The relationship with Emperor Alexios was tense from the start. He expected mercenaries to serve him. They saw themselves as an independent, holy army. After much political maneuvering and sworn oaths, they crossed into enemy territory. The journey through Anatolia was brutal. They faced a determined Seljuk enemy, a harsh and unfamiliar landscape, and the constant threat of starvation and thirst. They besieged massive cities like Nicaea and fought pitched battles like the one at Dorylaeum. Internal rivalries simmered among the Crusader leaders, each vying for power and prestige. Baldwin of Boulogne split off to establish the first Crusader state, the county of Edessa. The massive, year-long siege of Antioch tested their resolve to its absolute limit, bringing them to the brink of failure before a miraculous discovery: the supposed Holy Lands rallied their spirits for a final, desperate victory. Finally, in the summer of 1099, a fraction of the force that had originally set out from Europe stood before the walls of the ultimate prize, Jerusalem. 4 weeks, they besieged the holy city. Weakened by their long journey, they built siege towers and hurled stones, fueled by an intense spiritual fervor. On July 15th, 1099, they broke through the defenses. What followed was a brutal sack of the city that has been infamous for centuries. The Crusaders, who had marched thousands of miles in the name of God, unleashed a wave of violence, slaughtering many of the city's inhabitants. With Jerusalem secured, the leaders established the Kingdom of Jerusalem, with Godfrey of Bouillon taking the title defender of the Holy City, along with Edessa, Antioch, and later Tripoli. These Crusader states became Christian outposts in a hostile land. But this victory was just the beginning of a nearly 200-year struggle. The Crusades are a story of immense paradoxes. They were wars fought for religious ideals, yet often driven by greed, ambition, and political gain. Knights who took vows to protect the innocent were responsible for horrific acts of violence. The movement that was meant to unite Christendom against an external foe was often plagued by internal conflict. Think of the Fourth Crusade, which in 1204 never even reached the Holy Land. Instead, the Crusaders were diverted to Constantinople, which they shockingly sacked, crippling the very Byzantine Empire they were originally meant to help. So, what is the legacy of the Crusades? It's incredibly complex. For the Muslim world, it was an era of invasion by Franks from the west, leading to legendary counter-crusades led by figures like Saladin. The memory of this period has shaped regional identity and politics for centuries. In Europe, the effects were transformative. The Crusades stimulated trade, as ships carrying crusaders and supplies also brought back spices, silks, and other goods from the East. This contact reintroduced lost knowledge to Europe, from science and medicine to philosophy, helping to spark the Renaissance. They also strengthened the power of monarchs who could tax and raise armies, and enhance the influence of the papacy, at least for a time. But the legacy also has a dark side. The religious fervor of the Crusades fueled intolerance and violence against Jewish communities within Europe itself, setting a devastating precedent. The concept of holy war would be used and abused for centuries to come. The story of the Crusades isn't a simple tale of good versus evil. It's a messy, human story of faith, fervor, ambition, greed, brutality, and cultural exchange. It's a chapter of history that fundamentally reshaped the relationship between East and West, between Christianity and Islam, and its echoes can still be felt in our world today. Understanding the Crusades is essential to understanding the long, complicated journey that has led us to the modern era. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past interesting, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next historical deep dive. See you next time.